Our eyes give us ability to see and appreciate our world. We rely on our eyes and the power of vision to recognize danger and keep away from harm. This implies that poor vision or outright loss of vision could diminish ability to sense danger and eventually affect quality of life. Statistics show that glaucoma is the second leading cause of blindness in Nigeria and the world after cataract. Hence, the World Glaucoma Week is observed in March annually to raise awareness about the eye disease that can cause irreversible blindness. We shall reveal more about glaucoma and the importance of eye health on this episode of 30 Minutes. Welcome. I am Mitaire Ikpen. The benefits of care for the eyes cannot be overemphasized, as there are dire consequences of neglecting the health of the eyes. Regular eye examinations help for early detection of glaucoma and other eye diseases. But how often do people go for eye examination to ascertain the quality of their vision? Tokpe Alabi finds out in our first report.
The human eye is regarded as perhaps the most important of the sense organs of the human body. With the eyes, human beings can perceive up to 80% of all impressions, including light, colors, and movements, by means of sight. Vision, therefore, is important because it allows man to connect with his surroundings, keep safe, and help maintain sharpness of mind.
Without the eye, you can't really appreciate the world and things around you. Now, what I would say is, the eye is one of the organs of the body that cannot be replaced. Now, once you've lost a vision or you've lost the eye, most of the time, it's very hard for you to find a replacement. Unlike other parts of the body, like the heart, the kidney, then you can easily get a transplant.
And the eye is predominantly the only organ in the human body through which we can actually see what is happening in the system in situ. In situ means without cutting open. You know, like the common saying that the eye is the window, to the soul. The eye is actually the window to the body. By merely taking a look at the inside of the eye, we can decipher what is happening in the body generally. So to that extent, the eye is one of the most important organs in the human system.
Health experts note that having regular eye examination are important because having one's vision corrected or enhanced can improve the quality of the day-to-day life. Eye examination help to correct certain eye conditions such as cataracts, glaucoma, and age-related macular degeneration, which could lead to sight loss. Poor vision could also be a risk factor for frequent fails, especially among old people. Awareness and belief regarding diseases as well as socio-cultural and religious practices affect the treatment-seeking behavior of people and the uptake of services. The question is, how often do people visit the eye clinic to ascertain the strength of their vision?
It's over a year and a half I visited the eye clinic, which I know that is very important and very necessary for one to be doing regular checkup. I was taking my dad for a medical checkup. I even take him to National Eye Clinic, Kaduna, for checkup. Then I used the opportunity to do my own checkup as well.
The last time I went for eye checkup was 2021, when I was having constant headache. And I was not listening very well. So I went to the hospital and they asked me to go to National Hospital, and I went and they did a test. There was a machine that they even asked me to put my eye and check to know. So now after the whole thing, I discovered that there was nothing. Like just a stress, and that was it.
then have you been going?
No, I haven't gone again. Because the symptom I was receiving has stopped.
Once in a while, maybe when I'm feeling some kind of sensation in my eye, so I go for the checkup.
Do you think it is normal for us to be doing
If you are aging, you need to do it. Maybe I will be blind by now if I didn't do it.
I haven't gone for an eye checkup. I have 20/20 vision. So I have 20/20 vision, so I don't see the need to. But then again, I think I should. Maybe once a year or so, but I haven't been doing that.
The last time I went for an eye checkup was around 2004. And the reason why I don't go for checkup is because what I saw there, I was not encouraged.
I've never gone for eye checkup before. Yeah. I used to have itchy eyes. That was like about 4 or 5 years ago. Then I started taking carrots. I was taking a lot of carrots and then a lot of coconuts, and it stopped. So ever since then, I initially had in mind to go and then check, but since it stopped, I just told myself, since it stopped, there's no reason of going to the hospital.
Once in 3 months.
Why do you do that?
Because I have to work with the system all the time and my eyes are bad. Before the system, no. After the system, yes. Because I started having this twitching feeling in my eyes and it was really hurting. It was good, and at some point I felt like I was going blind because of the pain was really severe. But after the treatment and the eye care and everything stopped.
Glaucoma, a condition of increase in eye pressure that causes gradual loss of vision, has no early symptoms. About half of people with glaucoma don't know they have it. The only way to check for glaucoma is to get a comprehensive dilated eye exam. With prevention services and treatment program for the eye available, an informed public is more likely to take advantage of it before significant functional disability or irreversible vision loss occurs. One major concern is, why do people take their eye health for granted?
Well, for modern times now, most people are beginning to realize that the eye is very important. But there's still some set of people that still don't feel the need to come have regular checks for their eyes. Now, I've placed the reason on sensitization. Most people don't really know when to come to the clinic to have their eyes checked. Some people feel that, oh, once I have an issue with my eye, I can just run to the nearby clinic, run to the nearby pharmacy and quickly get one sharp eye drop and put in the eye.
As for the individual himself, of course, the quality of life drops when vision is impaired. And that's because you're not able to perform your regular routine functions that you ordinarily would have been performing if you were seeing optimally. So it's a no-brainer for somebody to say, okay, I'm not going to do anything about my eyes and wait until it gets really, really bad. So to that extent, everybody needs to pay particular attention to visual health. Visual health does not only ensure that you see clearly. Like I said at the beginning, it is through the eyes that we can tell oftentimes whether somebody has diabetes. It is by looking at the eye that we can also determine whether somebody has hypertension. We have also in the clinic been able to determine and save the lives of so many persons when we find out that they have various systemic ailments.
Experts also note that not caring about one's eye health has short and long-term effects.
The long-term consequence is blindness. Basically, if the eye is not taken care of properly, we can have a situation where the eye is irreversibly blind. In other instances, when you now talk about short-term consequences, visual impairment, pain, discomfort, and the likes, those are the ones that are perhaps reversible. So if somebody doesn't take care of the eye properly, the person stands the risk of having difficulty seeing things that are far or things that are near clearly, or having some pains that are excruciating. That's for short term. Immediate, such can be reversed. But the danger there is that if it's not taken care of in the long term, these can eventually lead to irreversible blindness.
at that point, it becomes sad because by the time you're coming late, there's little or nothing we can do. I'll give you an example. I had a 68-year-old woman walk into the clinic with the mother and the son and the daughter. They rushed to the clinic as early as 8 a.m. They were already here. And I was like, what's the problem? They were dragging her. She couldn't walk. She couldn't see. So she had to be aided. And they came on like, my mother can't see, she can't see, she can't see. And after checking, found out that this woman had end-stage glaucoma. And I began to question and find out how it got. And I asked her. She was like, she has been telling her children that she cannot see clearly. And for some reason, they didn't believe her. They felt maybe one of her usual complaints. And she had been managing it like that all this while, going to one nurse in the village there who keeps giving her a normal antibiotic eye drop which she has been using, which has no effect on what was wrong with her. Now at that point, when they were coming, there was not little or nothing we can do.
Experts recommend appropriate focused community health education campaigns that will go beyond creating awareness and impart adequate knowledge of glaucoma for the general population.
I cannot agree less, Tokwe, as more awareness is required for early detection of eye challenges. The World Health Organization estimates that 4.5 million people worldwide are blind as a result of glaucoma. The prevalence of the disease in Nigeria is on the increase as experts estimate that 1 in every 20 Nigerians aged 40 years and above has glaucoma. Abdusalam Jubril, in our next report, tells us why glaucoma is called the silent thief of sight and the risk factors.
Glaucoma has been christened the silent thief of sight because it takes what is very precious for many people, which is their vision. Medical practitioners maintain that it slowly damages the eyes and can cause irreparable harm before there is any vision loss.
Glaucoma is a disease that affects the optic nerve, and it does this in a peculiar manner. It usually affects the optic nerve. Either there's a lot of pressure on the nerve, or there's a compromise to the blood supply of the nerve. And then the nerve is being lost in a characteristic manner, in which the peripheral vision and the side vision is lost first. And then in the late stages of the disease, it can affect the central vision and eventually cause a wipeout of vision. What makes glaucoma peculiar and why we make so much noise about glaucoma is that in the early and moderate stages of the disease, it is asymptomatic. That means the individual will not be aware that they have glaucoma. And it's also irreversible. So by the time you have vision loss due to glaucoma, there's really nothing much we can do at that stage to restore the vision that has been lost.
What was discovered in this country, over 90% of the glaucoma is what we refer to as primary, where you cannot find a cause. So it's when you find a cause that you prevent a particular disease entity. And in that same study, over 85% of the people that were detected with glaucoma were not aware that they are suffering from glaucoma, which means they have no symptoms, they don't feel anything. Until you test the person, you will not be able to detect the condition.
Experts also note that the eyes are the only place where blood vessels can be viewed in their natural state without surgical procedure. With this visual inspection of the blood supply, optometrists can spot many health conditions and vision problems just by taking a glance into the eyes. However, while the disease has been around for some time now, researchers today still do not know what causes it in most cases.
Glaucoma has no symptoms, and that is why it is generally referred to as the silent thief of sight. It comes in quietly, silently, and begins to take the vision of the affected individual. And if it is not detected early, it will only be clear in some cases where the sight is lost in one eye or severely lost in both eyes. So the best thing is for us to go out as ophthalmologists or as eye care providers to create awareness about this leading cause of irreversible cause of death globally.
According to the World Health Organization (WHO), glaucoma is the leading cause of irreversible blindness worldwide, with lower reportage in Africa compared to other blinding conditions. Also, available statistics indicates that Nigeria has a high prevalence of glaucoma, which is largely open-angle glaucoma. A high proportion of those affected are blind, and secondary glaucoma is mostly as a consequence of procedures for cataract. Statistics on glaucoma are not readily available. However, 2017 data from the College of Medicine Lagos University Teaching Hospital show that no fewer than 1.8 million Nigerians who are above 40 years suffer from glaucoma, with about 360,000 of them blind in both eyes. The data also reveals that glaucoma is the second leading cause of blindness worldwide and in Nigeria, with a prevalence of 16.7%, second only to cataract.
Apart from cataract, which is the cause of more than 1.5 million blindness, glaucoma comes second, with a total of about 350,000 blind. And surveys have shown that up to 5% of Nigerians above the age of 40 might have glaucoma. And so if care is not taken and method of creating awareness as well as detecting this condition early enough, it will be catastrophic in time because the visual loss will be enormous and the consequences to that individual, to the family, and to the community will be enormous.
Because we have about 1.2 million Nigerians who have glaucoma. And it's sad to say that 94.4% of Nigerians who have glaucoma are not aware that they have glaucoma. And worse still, 1 in every 5, 20% of Nigerians who have glaucoma are blind. So you can see it's an issue of public health concern. And that's why we try to make so much or why we make so much noise about glaucoma, why we create awareness about glaucoma, so that if everybody gets their eyes screened, then we can pick glaucoma early and start to treat glaucoma so that you don't lose your vision from glaucoma.
You know, glaucoma is actually the leading cause of irreversible blindness in Nigeria. It affects 1 in every 20 people that are 40 years and above in Nigeria. We have the data, it's statistics, it's not an assumption, you know. So it is really a big problem. And vision loss is related to socioeconomic development. It's actually a developmental issue. So when we look at vision loss, we're not looking at just the individual, we're also looking at the whole socio-economic development of the country. And that's why it's really important that we tackle these diseases like cataract, which is the leading cause of blindness, and then glaucoma, which is the leading cause of irreversible blindness. So it must be diagnosed early and treated on time.
While anyone can get glaucoma, medical experts note that certain groups of people are at higher risks. These groups include black people over age 40, old people over age 60, and people who have diabetes. In many cases also, glaucoma is a genetic disease that is passed on within families.
Previously, we would say everyone above 40 should have their eyes screened for glaucoma. But there's a subgroup of glaucoma which is seen in the juveniles. Those are those below 40. And they also tend to have severe glaucoma. So we would advise everybody to have their, not just people above 40. So people above 40 have a higher risk, But everybody should get screened for glaucoma so that if we pick it up, we can treat you early and prevent further loss.
Unfortunately, again, glaucoma is known to be much more aggressive in black people. It's more prevalent in black people, where especially in sub-Saharan Africa, we lack the facility and we lack the skilled manpower to manage. So our best bet each time is for us to look the best way to detect it early.
From the age of 40, every 2 years you do an eye test. If you have a family history of glaucoma or any eye disease for that matter, you do an eye test every year. Unless if the doctor says there's something wrong and you need to check more frequently. So regular eye examination is one of the most important things that helps us to pick up things like glaucoma.
While there is no cure for glaucoma, optometrists advise that by protecting the eyes, the odds of blindness and vision loss will be reduced, while also staying on top of any developing eye disease such as glaucoma. Public health control strategies and high-quality glaucoma care service is also required to reduce morbidity and blindness from glaucoma. They, however, stressed that most people suffering from the disease are able to manage their condition successfully with the use of eye drops, laser treatments, surgery, or a combination of all three.
For vision, for our eyesight, we normally say we like things with vitamin A or the colored products, carrots, mangoes, spinach, green leaves, generally they're good for the eyes because in the eyes, at the back of the eye, there's what we call the macula, and it's nourished by these vitamins, so it's good to have that. But specifically for glaucoma, if a person has glaucoma, there really isn't a particular thing.
In the event you are discovered to have glaucoma, there is all hope as you have medications for the treatment, you have surgeries, you have lasers. As an ophthalmologist, since I came in as the secretary of the FCT, Health and Human Services Secretariat, we've been creating a number of opportunities, a number of events to create awareness in all sorts of eye-related conditions. And we have been trying to expand our eye care system. Hopefully, before I leave, we'll have an expanded eye clinic in Kwali, in Kubwa. And we are also expanding and increasing some of the equipment in the Asokoro District Hospital, like we refer to, where we can begin to give a full laser treatment for people with glaucoma as well as diabetic-related eye disease.
They also caution that it is important to note that while treatment can prevent vision loss, it cannot restore sight already lost to glaucoma, which is why early detection is very important.
Many thanks, Abdusalam. The fact that glaucoma has no cure yet makes it imperative for you to undertake regular eye examinations to ascertain the health of your eyes and the quality of your vision. It is recommended that adults should have a comprehensive eye examination at least once every year, or as recommended by their doctor. And that's it for 30 minutes today. Another interesting episode beckons next week. I am Mitaire Ikpen. Bye for now.